Hello, grade 10, and welcome to your worksheet 3 video, your final worksheet for the year. And the topic, of course, is euthanasia. This is within the context of human rights. We talked extensively about this concept in class. We had a debate. We wrote a persuasive essay. We wrote about the different dimensions of this problem and the kind of confusion that could occur in case a person or their loved ones were in this situation. Is it right or is it wrong? Of course, this is one of the major controversial issues in the world. Now, the lesson is about a man in France, okay, Lambert. He is at the center of this debate. He was at the center of this debate until his death, of course. Paragraph 1 starts by introducing us to the man who has been in a vegetative state for 11 years, meaning he's in a total coma, vegetative state, comparing him to a vegetable, nothing. Okay, he's not conscious, he's not aware of anything, he's just lying there. And there was this legal flip-flopping over whether to keep him alive. Stopping treatment came 4 days after France's highest court quashed a Paris court decision to resume feeding so the United Nations could examine the case. So finally, the highest court in Paris gave the okay that he should go. He should be euthanized. Of course, euthanize is the verb for euthanasia. And as we said, euthanasia is mercy killing, or you can say assisted suicide if you want, or assisted killing, depending on the case. Paragraph 2, we saw how his family, Lambert's family, Lambert's family were divided. Francois, his nephew, was against it. Totally with it. His wife also, but his parents were against. And we talked, of course, why and how his parents might be against this. What happened? How did he become what he is? What led him to this vegetative state? It was a car crash. After that car crash, he was completely paralyzed. He had to be artificially fed to stay alive. He died Thursday morning, okay, during that time at the hospital in Reims, east of Paris, where he had been treated. The case has drawn attention all around Europe. The Vatican, of course, we thought that the Vatican is the highest authority in the Catholic Church, the Christian Catholic Church. Of course, when you say religion, it means against euthanasia. All religions are equally against mercy killing because it's interfering with the will of God, taking the decision for yourself, which according to them is a crime. It is killing. Now, paragraph 5, in May, two top Vatican officials, Cardinal Kevin Farrell, in charge of Catholic laity, and the Vatican's top bioethics official, Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia, issued a statement saying that providing food and water to the sick is inescapable duty. It's an inescapable duty. It's not up to you. You have to feed this patient. You have to keep him alive because this is the will of God. If you do that, you are committing a heresy. Paragraph 6, the legal battles began in 2013. In the latest twist, on June 28, France's highest court gave doctors permission to restart procedures introduced in May to stop feeding and hydrating Lambert. The court didn't tell them euthanize him. It just told them stop feeding him and hydrating. Hydrating means giving water. Of course, that, in essence, that means he is being euthanized because he cannot survive a day after that. And after that, his parents appealed to the UN Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, saying that it is violating his human right of living, his basic human right of the right to live, because he didn't have a say in this. They decided for him. Paragraph 7, unbeknownst to him, meaning without him knowing, he's lying there in a vegetative state. He became the center to the debate leading up to France's 2016 law on terminally ill patients. When we say terminally ill, we mean hopeless cases, a hopeless disease. The law allows doctors to stop life-sustaining treatments, life-giving treatments, and keeping them alive, including artificial hydration and nutrition, and to keep the person sedated until death. They would stop feeding and hydrating them, and they would give them a sedative, okay, sort of like a drug to keep them sedated, not feel anything. Okay, it stops, however, of legalizing euthanasia or assisted suicide. So it's basically telling them you can stop feeding him. We didn't say you could kill him, we said you could stop feeding and hydrating him, which is in essence the same thing. 8. The European Court of Human Rights and the Council of State, France's top administrative body, had upheld the doctor's earlier decision to stop Lambert's life support, with the court finding the move didn't violate Lambert's rights. The court finally decided no, okay, this is the best thing that could be done at that moment. Now the questions in reference to paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 identify the problem Vincent Lambert had. What caused this problem? Okay, he was in a vegetative state. What caused it was a car accident back in 2008. And now he had to be then fed and hydrated officially. Artificially, he had to be hydrated and fed artificially in order to keep him alive. Identify the two contrasted views, opposite views towards Lambert's situation in paragraphs 5 and 6, of course. There was the view of the Vatican, the high authority in the Catholic Christian Church, which was totally against it, obviously. And then there was the view of the court, which said, no, okay, he should go. He has the right. Okay, the doctors have the right to end his treatment and his feeding. So those were the two opposite points of view. Explain the figure of speech introduced in paragraph 6. The figure of speech is legal battles. Are they really battles? Do they have weapons? Of course, no, those weapons are metaphorical, they're figurative. So it's a metaphor. He indirectly compared the debate around euthanasia to a battle. Number 4, other than the general reader, who might be interested in reading this text and why? Of course, I would say parents of terminally ill patients would be interested to see the different details regarding this. Human rights organizations would be interested in reading this. Another type of reader might be members of the United Nations Committee of Human Rights. All of those people who are interested in human rights and such legal battles related to euthanasia. And now this brings us to the table, analyzing the table. Of course, when we are analyzing such tables, we have to look across, comparing, and below, and vertically in order to contrast. We have to compare and contrast. We're giving 4 countries, USA, Australia, India, and Rwanda, and we're giving 2 different years, consecutive years, 2017 and 2018. The percentage here are of those who are concerned about the right to live, meaning they are not with it, they do not support it. In the US, according to this poll, 42% are concerned about it. They're not happy with it. They don't agree. In 2018, that number increased to 56. Australia, 56, increased to 65 in 2018. India, 38%, decreased to 23. And then Rwanda, 31%, and decreased to 18%. Okay, so what conclusions can we draw here? The table, we start, of course, with the topic sentence taken directly from the topic. The table depicts the percentages of some people's concern about the right to live according to a study conducted about the view between 2017 and 2018. The table shows that Australians in 2017 and 2018 had the highest rate of concern, 56%, and the consecutive year, 65%, about the right to live, while Rwandans had the lowest ones, 31%, followed by 18% decreased. American and Australians marked an increase in their concerns about the right to live from 42% and 56% to 56% and 65% respectively. Okay. On the other hand, Indians and Rwandans showed a decrease in that concern. And you give the numbers, and if you write them in order, please say respectively so that you don't have to repeat yourself. This might indicate that Americans and Australians are showing more concern about the right to live than Indians and Rwandans. The right to live is getting more important to both Americans and Australians. You could also say it's a matter of concern to them. It's a controversial issue which they have doubts about. Okay, now in this table, referring back to the text, who was with and who was against mercy killing Lambert. Lambert's parents, of course, against. Francois Lambert, here it's written Francis, his nephew was with. Pope Francis, of course, totally against. The religious authority in the Vatican. European Court of Human Rights finally agreed that it is okay to euthanize him. Finally, use contextual clues to fill in the blanks with the words given here. Dispute, so sort of an argument. Devotion, okay, giving yourself to something, you're devoted. Abandonment, leaving something totally. Debate, where there is with and against, people have opposing views. And of course, euthanasia, which is mercy killing. Number one, that kind nurse has cared for the sick with selfless devotion. When she's devoted, she's compassionate. Number three, there are many physicians, and again, physicians are doctors around the world who refuse to practice euthanasia. Practice, it means go on with it, okay? Do it. Three, to settle between the protesting workers and the management, referring to a local court was suggested. To protest the dispute, which is the fight. The two candidates for the head of the UN Committee of Human Rights, HR, participated in a hot debate where they argue about something someone is with and another person is against before the election was held. And those are the answers, of course, posted in Padlet. This is it. For any further questions, please ask me. You can text me, write down your answers, and we can talk about them. Good luck. See you.